Welcome to Primary Scene. I'm Alice Alexander, and tonight we shed the light on the man behind the lens of the iconic James Dean photos as we follow their mutual journeys to public acclaim here at the Gala premiere of Life.
There's this kid, I think he might be starting something special, and I want to get in early.
Photo essay on an unknown actor.
He won't be unknown for long.
Tell me what his name is.
His name's James Dean.
I'm Jimmy.
So playing one of your icons has been undoubtedly an intimidating task. What made you decide to take on the role?
Well, basically my wife told me to. I had a lot of trepidation about taking it. He's one of my favorite actors, has been for a really long time, and I was scared, I really was. But I always do these interviews and I say, like, I want to do the roles that are most challenging. I want to do the roles that scare me the most. And I think when that actually came along, I was running away from it. And then my wife pointed that out to me and was like, you got to practice what you preach. Like, if you want to do this, you have to, do that. So I started looking at it as a gift that was being given to me and decided to take it on.
So James Dean is, I guess to say the least, is a man of mystery. How did you prepare for the role and how did you research it?
It was a long process. I had about 4 months, and I had to gain about 25 pounds for it, and I worked on the voice a lot with a dialect coach. I worked with a makeup artist to develop how we're going to make me look as much like him as possible, and then I just read as much as I could about him and listened to as much as I could and watched him as much as I could, and it was just a, pretty immersive process.
Do you feel like you relate to James Dean in a sense where he faced such a quick contrast between fame and, I guess, notoriety and trying to still keep himself and just not lose himself? Do you feel like you faced any of that in your own career?
Yes and no. I mean, I think he beat himself up about it a lot more than I do. He wouldn't be here tonight, for sure. I'm happy to be here and talk about my film and want people to see it. But I think it's a struggle being an artist and an ultimately, big business.
Do you ever get sick of cameras being pointed at you constantly?
I don't really think about it. That's my trick. I just act like it's not happening. Yeah.
What is it that you see?
There's an awkwardness, something very pure.
Hey, Dennis.
Are we going to take some great photos or what?
Are you gonna make me famous?
I guarantee it.
I hope Toronto treated you guys well with the weather and craziness, actually.
Oh, during the shoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sort of the coldest winter for 30 years or something. And,
It's my hometown, so yeah, it's absolutely freezing sometimes.
yeah, it was last year. But we had a very short shooting schedule. It was only 28 days, of which 26 were in Canada. So that was a mixed blessing in that sense.
When casting for the film, did you always have Robert and Dane in mind?
Yeah, I think if Dane wouldn't have said yes, I'm not sure where I would have to look. I was very focused on getting him. Rob I had already prior to that. They're very different actors and they're playing very different kind of guys. So it was very fitting, both in real life in a way and for the film. With Dane, you have to, you find an actor that can bring you there, because the physical resemblance stops at some point. You can work towards it, but at some point they're not going to be the same looking guys. So you have to have an actor who makes you believe that he can be the heart and soul of that person, of that character. And I always thought that Dane could do that.
Essentially this film is about the photographer Dennis. But with such an iconic figure like James Dean, was it difficult to keep the focus on Dennis's story?
Well, I think they, sort of have even screen time. They're both, it's a story about the two guys, but it's the perspective of the photographer. Obviously, we as an audience know so much more about James Dean than about Dennis Stock, so we fill a lot of that in. So it looks like it's a lot more about James Dean than maybe it is.
I think you guys did an amazing job with, with the dark room scenes, just to bring the focus right back in. So when it comes,
I think I'd be very disappointed in myself if I couldn't get that right.
Absolutely perfect. My next question was, did you coach Robert through, I guess, being a photographer and making it look authentic and working with the 35 millimeter film cams?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I got him a camera like months prior to shooting, so he would get used to carrying a camera and thinking about moments when you can shoot. Because I think that the awareness of being a photographer is important. You know, it wasn't so important for me the kind of pictures he would take, but more that he would think about it. And then, yeah, during the film, you know, we create moments where you can imagine that he would take some of the shots, but we never compare. You know, even the Times Square scene is not exactly the framing as the photograph, because I think that didn't make sense to me.
Did you guys actually get any of the photos developed that you guys shot on film?
No, I think I got the feeling that Rob probably put the same film in every single time, so I don't think there was anything on it.
Do you have any advice for young photographers who are trying to make an impression?
Oh, you know, good luck. It's harder than ever.
I lose myself in my roles. I don't want to lose myself in all this other stuff.
Everything changes so fast.
Photography is a good way of saying, I've been here and you've been here. We live in hope.